Hello everybody and welcome back to the Black Ops 6 beta, where I'm going to be talking about a few things. Mostly related to the beta, so don't worry. It's going to be all kind of feedbacky slash general thoughts after the first weekend. Yeah, so to start, the main thing is going to be that I really enjoyed it so far. I have enjoyed this beta so far. I've obviously hit the max level. I've not gotten every single weapon max level, but then again, that doesn't really matter. It's not like I don't want to waste the time. As of now, obviously I've hit max level. It's level 20. Weekend 2, presumably, will probably hit level 30-ish. But that being said, I have enjoyed the beta thus far. Some upsides is audio is very good. I'd say there's a few inconsistencies here and there, but I think overall very solid. Gunplay feels very good. There's a few outliers in terms of weapons, in terms of mid to long range, as well as one outstanding weapon that feels very, very strong. And none of the weapons feel underpowered in comparison. It's just obviously everyone's sweating and using the newest guns, the new and best guns, because they're treating it like their stats are going to carry over, even though we know they're not. And then there's also stuff like just generally XP gains feeling kind of odd, but they've addressed the fact that weapon XP is slower for the beta, for the first beta, just for the sake of making it, just tuning it as they go and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. And then, what's another thing? Oh, and then the obviously largest thing is the maps are great. I'd say the color palette on Scud isn't necessarily my favorite, but it's at least a fun map, and the maps are fun even with everything. Other than that, realistically, I really enjoy everything that's going on in BO6, like, just in general. There's really anything I dislike. What things I do dislike aren't really that major. I think overall, just kind of talk about it, we're sitting at like a 9 or an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, there is very, very little issues that I personally had with the beta so far. Keyword. But yeah, just overall, I think it is a really fun beta. I think that if you have the ability to play the beta, I definitely think you should. If only because this is good testing time for Treyarch, and also just generally really good for getting your the kind of feel for the game, because it is going to be probably similar towards launch. The main thing that I want to talk about in terms of the main negatives is, number one, the Jackal PDW is insanely strong. I'm all for having SMGs be decently powerful. I'm all for having them be jack of all trades sometimes, and some of them being like maybe somewhat slower firing, made for mid to long range, and the reload's really quick or something like that, like maybe like a Man of War assault rifle, but in the form of an SMG. I'm also all for bullet hoses, where you basically want to bum rush everything and basically be shoving the barrel up the person's butt and just hip firing them to death. But the Jackal stands out as being a really good short to mid-range SMG, and it feels like its damage fall-off is non-existent. But obviously, up until that longer range, like AR to sniper ranges. The XMG machine gun feels very weak for what it is. I don't remember the name of the sniper, but the main bolt-action sniper feels very good. The only track, if I had to ask one thing, please do not nerf its damage. Nerf maybe its like multipliers on legs and arms, but like everything else keep it the same. Just increase its ADS speed just like by like a percent point. It is really good and feels very good with no attachments. Please don't hurt it too bad. The shotguns feel really good. I do have a problem with its weird pump delay, but I think that's just a mixture of the attachments and also just generally the way the game feels a little bit different. Omni movement as a whole is really good. I have a few gripes with it on controller because it feels like I'm not a huge fan of it being so... I feel like my left stick's gonna break off of how often I'm pressing the sprint button, as well as the die button from my right stick. But the other thing is that I want to bring up is the pistol. Specifically the one you start off with. I think it's called the GS45. Feels very weak for having 10 shots. Like, it feels like it's taking 6 to 8 shots to kill somebody. Obviously, I don't have the greatest aim in the world sometimes. But it feels inconsistent. The Makarov 9mm pistol, the other pistol in the beta, feels decent. I definitely say maybe if we're going to keep it at the damage it is, maybe increase the rate of fire a little bit, because that feels pitifully weak. The C9 SMG, the other main SMG in the beta, feels very good. I think it definitely is a reasonable SMG when you're in its preferred ranges, but Jackal just outperforms it in every single way. The 3 assault rifles that we have, which are the XM4, the AK-74, and the AIMs or AMEs, I think are all very solid. I personally prefer the AMEs, because it is very powerful and basically has 0 recoil if you build it right. We also have the SWAT 556. That thing is a monster at mid-range. I was hitting 1 burst constantly with it every single time I used it, and it was really solid. XM4, I think, is a very good all-around kind of hybrid assault rifle SMG, because it's really good up close when you're not getting outgunned by the Jackal. It's decent at mid-range when you're not getting outgunned by, like, the AMES or the AK. And overall, I feel it's very solid. The AK feels very good. Almost, I'm not going to say too good, but it feels very powerful, and I think as is, I think it's fine. Maybe tuning its recoil just a tiny bit to compensate for its really high damage, it feels like. The SWAT, again, I think it's fine. It's a 3 burst with a really slow burst delay, it feels like. So it's not, like, super spammy like the M16 was in, like, COD 4. But it's decently fast enough that it doesn't feel impossible to use, and its 1 burst potential is nice. The SVD, or SVO, the Dragunov, effectively, I think could have, if you're going to have it be a one-shot headshot, I think that's fine. I would say maybe increase the rate of fire, like, maybe, like, by a smidge, or make it headshot from shoulders up. I only really got to use it a little bit, and I was hitting, like, center mass, like, upper, like, mid-chest, like, right dead center, and, like, the gut, like, middle chest, upper gut, and it was hit arcing, which is fine, because it's a semi-auto sniper, you don't want it to be too powerful, but still, I think just having a bit more of a one-shot, I think it was only hitting, like, neck up one-shot, like, basically a headshot. I maybe might need to use it a little bit more. The launcher, just please make the launcher not as clunky. It feels awful. And I'll talk about mainly maps. I think Skyline is the best map, in my opinion, out of the beta that I've played so far. Rewind, very good. I think it's a bit too open, and I'm not a huge fan of how dark some of the corners feel. Scud, I decently like. I know not a lot of people like it. I like Scud a little bit. I think a color palette increase. Obviously, I know that's not necessarily something to really complain about, but I think I play a lot of in the footage I think that you might be seeing now, where we occasionally get Scud. It looks a lot more vibrant, because I'm using filters and stuff like that to kind of help out with that. But I think making it so that it doesn't feel as gray and making characters stand out a little bit more, because that is one thing I think I notice a lot, is visibility on characters when they're prone in, like, even just somewhat dark areas, or areas where there's not a lot of color or light, feels like I cannot see them until they've shot me and killed me. Especially in that especially when they're up on the satellite balcony overlooking mid towards A flag, I feel like I can't see at all. Or, no, technically it's B flag, isn't it? Yeah, it's B flag. When you're, I think C flag is below it, but yeah, when you're looking down towards B, I believe that's B over there. It's either C, the big center satellite thing when you look down towards where the truck is, through the satellite dish. That feels very hard to see looking at it. Maybe make nameplate visibility a little bit easier to see from a distance. Maybe not like so easy. It's like, oh, you can't possibly miss it, but like, when you're when you have your reticle on, you should be able to see a little bit easier. I was having issues off camera. What's the other map's called? Derelict, I really like. I know a lot of people find Derelict to be a little annoying because so many like little areas to get shot from. I think that I personally didn't have too many issues with it, but I did still like it. Skyline, I think, is absolutely amazing. I think it is by far the best map of all time in terms of so far. Not of all Call of Duty, but like out of the maps we've seen so far, I think it is the best with Rewind, Derelict, and Scud in that order, like best to worst. I have not tried any of the other new maps because obviously it's still weekend 1. Modes, obviously TDM, Domination, Hardpoint, those are always good. I like the Hardpoint rotations on the maps, I think they're good. The flags, I think on Skyline, feel a bit one-sided. I can't remember what side it is. I think it's the side that has the... Oh god, this only helped. The side that has the hedges, and the secret door entrance. That side feels very one-sided when it comes to domination, but it also, when we get to the other mode that I'm going to be talking about, it does have the benefit of it being very one-sided if you happen to spawn on that side too. As for streaks, the Watchdog Halo needs to get buffed. It feels like it does little to no damage, or its AI is absolutely awful when it comes to tracking. Obviously, I don't want to be like, oh, you're outside, you're just dead. But it feels like it was taking forever just for the thing to find somebody, and then when it did, the person they either ducked away into cover, or they just didn't get shot at all. Hellstorm, good. The recon scanner, like the little radio thing, fine. It felt like it was weird to activate sometimes. Obviously, UAV is good. RCXD was really fun. I love that thing. I didn't use it in this footage, but I did play a little bit on my own. The thing's absolutely amazing. It feels great to use again. The big thing I want to talk about is the hardpoint locations on Scud feel very, very odd. I'm not saying they're bad. They just feel odd for the map. Because it feels like one part of the map is entirely to be used, and that's like the trench area. At least I can't remember. I only got hardpoint once on Scud, so my memory is not really that great. But if maybe, oh no, you do use a trench area. You do use it once, but it's a small hardpoint. So I feel like if they made the hardpoint a little bit bigger in that trench area, I feel like it'd be a little easier. But I'm not a game dev. I'm not going to say what's best and what's not. As for the big thing that I want to talk about, and you may be seeing gameplay of it now, depending on if I have it run footage, is the new mode Kill Order. I think this mode is absolutely amazing. I have no real major gripes with it, other than one major thing, is I don't know if it's just me misunderstanding how the scoring works, or if there's something I'm missing, but when you're in HVT, there should be a more relevant, like, in-your-face pop-up saying you're the HVT. It does say it in, like, small text. Obviously, it's beta, so it's reasonably small. I think there should be, like, a medal that pops up when you become an HVT, just so you immediately know, I'm the HVT. I have to defend my life like it depends on it. And I almost want to say, I think you do get extra score when you're an HVT. I really want it to be a thing where I think you do earn passive score over time. I think that should have a cap, because I was able to get all my streaks in a separate game. I think that was the one that was shown, where I got all my streaks just by surviving and basically not sitting in the back of the map, but like sitting in a part of the map that was really far away, just dealing with people as they got close. And again, I love this mode. If this becomes like one of the modes in ranked, I am gonna 100% play ranked more. As for everything else in the beta, again, I really like it. The visibility, again, is a huge problem, especially for me, because I'm basically blind. I'm not actually blind, but I have a very hard time seeing things sometimes. But I will say that even with all of those issues, I still did enjoy the beta, and whenever I could see things easily, it was very fun. Obviously, XP right now, obviously, is going to be tuned for the beta. I think, hopefully, for weekend 2, I'll obviously kind of maybe put some more thoughts, maybe make an addendum to this. But yeah, that being said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Again, very brief thoughts. Obviously, I'll have a little bit more. I have one more file of footage when it comes to Black Ops 6 beta. I have one more big file, a bunch of just B-roll that I was going to use for a separate video. Obviously, this weekend too, I'll be able to record more. So, obviously, to any trailer active listening to this, obviously, I doubt it, but if you are combing through videos of feedback, big piece of feedback, again, is make the snipers fun to use and rewarding, but don't punish players for... Don't punish the players for missing too heavily, in terms of, like, missing the shot that can kill somebody. Like, again, the semi-automatic, have it be, like, upper chest, like, shoulder blades and up. The bolt action, I think, where you have it right now is great. Maybe don't reward lower stomach area and, like, lower legs, because I hit somebody straight in the crotch and it killed them. I think that's a little too low. I think mid-chest and up should always be a one-shot for bolt actions. And then semi-autos, unless it's a Barrett 50 cal type sniper, should always be, like, shoulders and up. Like, Barrett, I think it should be you hit them anywhere. It's just going to have a lot of recoil and be very slow. If the SVO is trying to be that, then sure. But I think the Dragunov suits best as, like, the precision, like, spam type weapon. I know it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but, like, the precision, like, aim for the head to get one-shots or two-tapped otherwise. Shotguns, again, please just make the shotgun pump delay a little bit faster. It feels very clunky when I expect it to fire a little bit faster and I go to pump it. And it's the pump animation is finished, but then it's like a 2 seconds where it's ready to be shot again. That, I think, it's either a bug or something weird. Other than that, I think the HUD's great. I think some issues with the HUD could be changed, but I'm taking it as a thing from the beta. It felt like some of the HUD elements were glitching out and disappearing sometimes. But other than that, I think it's great. I personally, especially as a zombies player, don't really care. As long as I have the ability to turn the HUD off for screenshots, that's all I care about. Just make sure we can do that. I would love that as a preset, just no HUD at all. Both for screenshots for zombies videos and also for the sake of immersion. I'm assuming that's what immersion is going to be. And, yeah. I guess if you guys did enjoy this video, again, leave a like. I upload every single day. Thank you all for the support recently. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Gears of War 3. And on Thursday should be, presumably, I'm hoping, a video on the Bow Death March. And then on next Monday will be another video on presumably the Reclaimer dual wields, because that's going to be coming out probably around that same, probably around this coming Wednesday. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good buddy, and stay safe.